Yeah, make all the fun you want of a guy standing in sunglasses on the roof of a building with downtown Los Angeles just over his left shoulder. Make all the fun you want of it, but if you look closely, you can see the Stanley Cup, and that's why we can report on hockey from such a vantage, because this is Stanley Cup City right now. But we are here to talk about the fact that the National Hockey League has just named 4 new players to the Hall of Fame. They are Mats Sundin, Adam Oates, Joe Sakic, and come on, come up with it. It was Oates. It was Pavel Bure. That's who we're forgetting. Pavel Bure, the Red Rocket. I got to see all these guys play live a lot. I'll start with Joe Sakic. Joe Sakic, absolutely first ballot guy, absolutely in the top 5 people I ever saw play hockey. He was a winner. He was a cool player. He was a Lady Byng player the same year he won the Hart. He was a playmaker. He was a scorer. He holds the record for 8 overtime goals in the playoffs, a record that I don't know how it's going to be beaten. He played his entire 20-year career on the Quebec, Colorado, in that one single franchise. Marcel Aubut brought him into Quebec, and then he moved with the team when they were sold and went to Colorado. An unbelievable hockey player, Joe Sakic. Not a big guy, he played a physical brand of hockey. He definitely belongs in the Hall of Fame. I mean, physical, if you want to take him up against somebody like a Wayne Gretzky. They were built in somewhat similar ways. Gretzky maybe a little slighter, but Sakic held his own, and he was just an incredible hockey player, beautiful player to watch. Mats Sundin, a little more controversial. Sundin went from Quebec to Toronto, but a lot of the reason that he was so well respected is that he has the most goals and points in Leafs history, but he was traded for an immensely popular player, and he stayed cool. He didn't fold under the pressure there. Mats Sundin traded for Wendell Clark, and he did a great job. He was the first non-North American to be a captain in Toronto, and it's a storied franchise, if an unsuccessful one. A lot of people thought that maybe Mats Sundin should not go in, and Brendan Shanahan should, but Sundin went in. If anybody, I thought that Adam Oates of this group shouldn't go in at the expense of Shanahan, and we'll get to Shanahan in a second. But Adam Oates had a big day, named to the Hall of Fame the same day that he becomes the coach of the Washington Capitals. So a good day for Adam Oates. Played on a lot of teams. He was more of a setup man than a scorer, but he played tough. He was a winner. He was on the Anaheim Ducks when they went, I think it was 2003 when they went to the finals. He never won a cup, but he's a really great competitor, a really great passer. His passes were unbelievable. You saw a lot of success. Cam Neely had as a goal scorer. He had it because Adam Oates was feeding him all the time. So a good player, and now probably gonna I think will be a better coach he's the assistant coach in New Jersey. I think he's going to be a better coach as a head coach in Washington than Dale Hunter was, who I never liked as a player, so I'm a little biased there. Pavel Bure, when he defected and he started playing for the Canucks, just an amazing hockey player to watch. One of the most beautiful skaters I've ever seen. Again, he played a typical Russian kind of hockey, had a harder time adjusting to less space on the NHL rinks, but really a fluid goal scorer. I mean, his shots were incredible. He was known as the Russian Rocket or the Red Rocket at that time. You always wanted him around there because if he was on the ice, one of those players where anything could have happened. It's a cliche, but really he kind of defined it to me. If I think about the hockey players I got to watch who would they just pulled focus when they were on the ice because you really believed something was going to happen, it was Pavel Bure. I would definitely think of him among the top players in that regard. And we get to Shanahan now, probably the most overlooked. He's a controversial guy. A lot of guys didn't like playing with Shanahan. He was a selfish player. He was a me guy in the locker room. Guys who I knew who played with him said in the dressing room he was a difficult guy. But on the ice, you cannot argue with his statistics and his results. He's a winner. He's a tough player. It's funny. He's the disciplinarian in chief of the NHL right now, but he was a guy who sometimes played dirty, but always played physically. I have a personal story with Brendan Shanahan, which sort of has me rooting against him getting into the Hall of Fame. I won't go into that right here. But the point is, he probably deserves to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and I would guess that he would get in. They only allow 4 players in. I don't know that I would have voted him in over Mats Sundin. I don't know that I would have voted him in over Adam Oates. It's his first year of eligibility, so he will always have the strike against him that he wasn't a first ballot guy, which may be enough for some of those players who didn't like Shanahan but knew that Shanny was a good player. So Oates, Mats, Pavel and of course Sachs get in today, and Shanny doesn't. But a really great group of players going into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Induction November 12th. And from Hockey Central here in Los Angeles, California, I'm Michael Shore for TYT Sports. Hey guys, before I leave Hockey Central, I want to say one thing to you. Rick Strom works his ass off here, and he gives you a great product, especially if you like anything having to do with soccer, hockey, baseball, basketball, college sports, lacrosse, auto racing, anything you like about sports. Subscribe to TYT Sports.